Nikki Haley went from losing in Iowa to losing in New Hampshire to losing to none of the above to now losing in her home state of South Carolina. But somehow she still thinks that she is a woman of her word and that somehow she needs to be there. And my question to you is, why does she still think this?
Oh, Damon, I think we all know. And I try to be measured. I try to be diplomatic. I try to be neutral about this stuff, especially sharing the screen with John Solomon. But I think it's fairly obvious what her goal is. We all saw that memo that came out 3 or 4 weeks ago, the internal memo from her campaign talking about seizing on Super Tuesday because the dozen or so open primaries where she could get Democrat votes. I know that she just lost the Koch brothers. She just lost Americans for Prosperity. Make no doubt, this is not any different from illegal immigration and Democrats trying to backfill votes with illegal immigrants. She's going to try to backfill votes with Democrats. And how is she going to do that? With Democrat dollars.
You know, my contention has been that she's just waiting around for the old Judge Chutkan to hammer to fall, or God forbid something to happen to Trump. Yeah, exactly. I actually heard somebody on our network on social media today say that they think that she has a better chance of being the Democrat nominee to replace Biden than Michelle Obama does. Wow. What do you think about that?
I don't know about being the Democrat nominee, but it does kind of seem like she is courting the no labels nominee.
Yeah, Ari Fleischer said that was a no labels speech the other night.
Yeah, we had Bobby Charles on the show tonight, who is former Assistant Secretary of State. Back in the 90s, he was a House investigator for House Oversight. He was a clerk in, I believe, the 5th District Federal Court. And he is so incredibly wise with this stuff. And he was talking about Nikki Haley and the destruction that she experienced after her own state of South Carolina. And we've been talking about it on her show. The only state she's going to win is the state of denial. I don't know what the future of her campaign looked like, but this was something he said with respect to these prosecutions of President Trump. I asked him about Fani Willis down in Georgia, and he was one of the first people who came out, I guess, after Alvin Bragg, after that first indictment in New York last year. He was the one who came out and said these are cardboard indictments, and at some point, one domino will fall and they will all cave. And I asked him about, the dumpster fire that's happening down in Georgia with Fani Willis. He said he ultimately thinks she's going to be forced to step down. And that will be the first domino to fall. He said if one of these gets taken out, then all of the cases get taken out, and they are shown for what they are, which is politicization. This is banana republic garbage, where you have a president who is sitting in the Oval Office who it is so transparent. It is so incredibly obvious for anyone who isn't covering their eyes and trying to not see what's going on. It's so obvious that this is a political takedown, trying to get Trump out of the way so that they can move forward with their agenda.
Yeah. Well, I only got about a minute left. I guess the last thing I want to know, and I don't know what you and John have been talking about, but is this the week? For me, this is the week that we find out whether we have a movement here, conservative movement or not in the House. Budget shutdowns on Friday. 4 of the 12 appropriations bills run out at midnight on Friday. Is this the time where the Republican Party, conservative media, all of us, quote unquote, build our own wall here and stand in the breach and shut this thing down? Or do we not have the ability to do that with this party?
I am of the conservative generation that I'm not scared to see a shutdown. I think that it just might be the shock treatment that Capitol Hill needs. However, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to find a way to slap another Band-Aid on there. And unfortunately, it'll be kicking the can down the road just again, which can and road, CR. Not a coincidence.
All right, Amanda Head. You can see her every night, 6 p.m. with John Solomon, Just the News, No Noise. Amanda, have a great time out there at the Strong Church Dream Conference.